I was very influenced by Tyrone Guthrie. His attitude to theater. Tanya Masevich worked building that theater in Minneapolis. If you'll notice, the Hartford Stage Company bears in some ways some resemblances to that. And the whole notion of company that Guthrie seemed to mean to me. I was also very much influenced by the English Stage Company at the time. In the mid-50s, you know, Look Back in Anger and all those plays. In fact, the Hartford Stage Company is called that because of the English Stage Company. So that kind of new work interested me, and the sense of repertoire, company, actors together season after season. But I personally was not comfortable doing new plays. I didn't like the responsibility that I'd have to the author. And I had some notion, I think I put it in a retrograde way, the only good playwright's a dead playwright. And so I wanted to do classics, and as I styled it, plays of established excellence. But I didn't do any new plays then. We started with Othello, and I remember saying, this is to show people who pay attention to these matters the kind of theater we're meant to be. The notion was, you know, you start with something fluffy, toughen up your audience incrementally until they can bear to watch a serious play. And that didn't seem the way to go. So we started with the best work we could do. The theater got put on the map when we did the closest to pornography, I guess you could legitimately do, when we did Jean Genet's The Balcony.
Right.
And it was a hugely successful production. The New York Times came up and reviewed it. It was on the front page of the theater section. And all of a sudden, we had an audience. People from Hartford and elsewhere just lined up. The power of the press. And that taught me something very much.
I think one of the things that inspired me to do so much classical work here, I remember saying to people, the first show here was Othello. It was Othello. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't a piece of fluff. It wasn't a new untried play that failed or whatever. It was Othello, one of the most brilliant pieces of writing in the English language, you know. And I've learned over the years of doing these classical plays, they're as new to American audiences as any new play. You know, they know Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf better than they know As You Like It, which isn't wrong necessarily. It's just everybody says, oh, we can't do another Molière or an Ibsen or a Shakespeare. Yes, you can, because actually, first there's a whole generation who still hasn't seen this or that play, even if it's Midsummer Night's Dream, but also, really, there are 36 or 8, however many plays he wrote, that are new territory when they're on a stage. And the audience is seeing something brand new.